Hey, friends, and welcome back to Life Coaching for Mompreneurs. I'm your host, Martine Williams, and I am so glad that you are here for this episode. If this is your your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. And this week and last week, I'm doing some special series here on the podcast. And today's is to celebrate the launch of my new program, Illuminate You Collective. So today's episode is all about the first core concept of this entire program is built upon. So I thought it would just be helpful to kind of let you peek inside to what the core concepts are of this program, why I'm so passionate about it, why it gets the women the results that they're looking for. So the first core concept is built on knowing yourself. More specifically, how to illuminate your strengths, your stressors, and your superpower, and why this step is absolutely essential to getting back into alignment, to win at work without losing at home, to build a business and a life that feels in flow, that feels exciting to you versus stressful to you. So if you're an ambitious mompreneur, which I feel like all of you are, or you wouldn't be listening to this podcast, but maybe you're feeling a little stuck in a rut, or maybe you are in the midst of a burnout. You're in the right place. What I'm going to be sharing today will speak straight to your heart, and it might just give you the first big, like, aha that you've been looking for. So grab your favorite beverage that you like to sip on. Maybe you're folding laundry right now because you're a multitasking true mompreneur. But go ahead and grab that, and let's talk about why this kind of self-awareness is the key to building a life and a business that feels like you again. Welcome to the Life Coaching for Mompreneurs podcast, where you will learn simple solutions to win at work without losing at home. Hi, my name is Martine Williams, and I'm your host and CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. And this podcast is your one-stop shop to creating a burnout-proof life and business by elevating your clarity, confidence, and courage. Friends, it's time to say goodbye to being the yes girl, to procrastinating on your goals and living in overwhelm. And it's time to say hello to creating healthy boundaries, healthy mindsets, and healthy habits so that you can achieve work-life harmony. Your next breakthrough starts here. This is the Life Coaching for Mompreneurs podcast. Let's do this. So before I dive into the core content, I want you to know that I see you and I get it. I've been in your shoes. I've been the one juggling business deadlines and after school practices, trying to be super mom and a super CEO at the same time, trying to hold it all together while secretly falling apart or secretly kind of losing yourself in the process. So a few years ago, I hit that wall. I was running on sheer determination, and let's be honest, some coffee was thrown in there. And on the outside, to everyone else, everything looked successful. I had the family, I had the business, I had the house, but inside, I was drained. And I was out of alignment with the life that I actually wanted. I had lost myself in pursuit of success. I felt like I didn't know what I like to do for fun anymore. I felt like I was dropping the ball everywhere in my business as a mom, as a wife. Like something had to change. I knew something had to change. And so, what I'm sharing with you today is one of the things that helped me to climb out of different seasons of the burnout hole. And it is the foundation of Illuminate You Collective. And I will say that when this clicked for me, really everything changed because how I saw myself, how I saw my ability and my capability and my confidence in a new light of what I bring to the table really helped me to stay out of that proving energy and confidently show up as the mom, the wife, the entrepreneur that I knew God had naturally built me to be. And there's so much freedom in that. And so that's the knowing that I'm calling you into. That's the knowing that I'm calling every single woman who comes into my programs or my one-on-one coaching into, because there is just so much peace and calm and confidence and freedom that comes from knowing yourself on that level. So the very first step, or the very first core concept of Illuminate You Collective, is learning to see yourself clearly. And we do this with a powerful tool called the Pro Scan. You've heard me talk about this before. It's a personality and performance survey. It's quick. It takes less than 10 minutes to answer the questions, and then it produces this like amazingly detailed over 20-page report. And I can't tell you the number of clients who have taken this and they're just blown away at the detail it gives them, the accuracy of the detail. It's got a 96% accuracy rate. And so it's just mind blowing to see these things in black and white in print about you. And it isn't fluff. It's like getting your personalized user manual for how you operate at your best. So it gives you insights into your 4 cornerstone personality traits, how you naturally handle pressure, what energizes you, what drains you, and what your ideal pace and environment looks like. This is just a few of the things. And so let's break down the three S's that I talked about earlier: your strengths, your stressors, and your superpower. So your strengths are your natural gifts. These are the things that you do well without even trying. Maybe you're a big picture thinker. Maybe you're a natural problem solver or a gifted encourager. That's me. Your strengths are the core of how you're wired to contribute. And they're where you feel most energized. And so that's one of the areas that we're going to dive into to build the foundation. And then there are also stressors. So these are the tasks, the environments, the dynamics that drain you. It might be constant interruptions. It could be doing highly detailed work or needing to lead when you'd rather support. That's me. When you spend too much time here, it's like running on empty every single day. And then there's the third S, which is your superpower. This is your strongest personality trait that you have developed over time. The thing you could do in your sleep and still thrive. It's often the thing that people like compliment you on the most or thank you for the most. Maybe it's encouraging others. Y'all know that's mine. Maybe it's creating structures and systems. Maybe it's innovating with new ideas. Your superpower is where you shine, and it comes so naturally to you. Hey friend, let's talk. It's time to book your clarity call. We are going to spend 1 full hour focused on you. A clarity call isn't about pressure. It's about possibilities. It's about you. You having a space to talk through what's on your heart and mind, you walking away with a clear vision and practical next steps, and you feeling confident in what's next and how to get there. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's my job. All you need to do is show up, and we'll figure it out together. This is the best hour you can invest in yourself right now. Not in 6 months from now, not next month, right now. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what one of my coaching clients had to say after working together.
I honestly cannot say enough positive things about coaching with Martine. From the very first session, I knew this was something different. The deep dive into who I am and why I operate the way I do per the Pro Scan results has helped me immensely and allowed me to embrace my unique qualities on various levels. I would 1000% recommend hiring her for whatever level of transformation you're looking for.
That transformation, it starts with one conversation. It's time to stop spinning your wheels and start making real progress. So head right now to martinewilliams.com or in the show notes and grab your private clarity call spot on my calendar before they're gone. And since I personally monitor my inbox, if you don't see a time slot that fits your calendar, just send me an email at martinewilliams.com with 3 times that do work, and I will make it work for you. All right, friend, let's get back to the show. So why does this matter? When you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, or you're in that preventative mode. So I do realize that some of you that are listening, you're not at that state of burnout and you're really excited about your business and you want to grow a sustainable, successful business while also building your family. And you might be feeling overwhelmed from that. And usually it's because you're spending too much time in your stressors and not enough time in the strengths or the superpower. So I want you to know that this is why this is important to have this information because you're not broken. You're just misaligned. And when I took the pro scan for the first time, I had a huge aha moment. It really confirmed for me what one of my top strengths was, which I knew it was people, but to understand it at the level that I understand it now helps me to lead in my marketing, in my selling, in the offers that I have, how I network, how I market my business. Like I love coaching, I love connecting and mentoring. Like relationship building is how I have built both of my businesses. But it also showed me that leading strategy and managing lots of moving parts was not in my zone of genius. And yet I'm the CEO of my business. So it's required of me to do these things. But I realized that I was doing a lot of, I had more days in that mode. And so that's where a lot of my drain was coming from. And that insight really changed everything for me because I started designing my weeks and my days around that energy, not just my to do list. I delegated better. I have prioritized what I was great at and found support in the areas that were draining me. Now, it doesn't mean you can't become and call upon some of these other strengths in different seasons. You can, absolutely can. I'm having to really stretch myself as a CEO on the days where I'm focused on the strategy. So it's not that you can't do it, it's just understanding where the energy plays in for you. So that's what this concept unlocks. It becomes your burnout prevention plan. It becomes your confident plan versus proving plan. It becomes your foundation that you can build everything else upon. It's not about never doing hard things because y'all know here we do hard things here. It's about knowing what's draining you so you can manage your capacity better. And when you do this work, everything else gets, I'm not going to say easier, it gets more simple. You understand it better. So you make better decisions. You stop comparing yourself to others. You finally feel like, oh, this is how I'm meant to function. Or this is why I do this way. This is why this feels so hard. I'm not the problem. My systems are, right? Like you'll just have this awareness that it all just starts, light bulbs just start going off like crazy. And you're like, why did I not have this sooner? You communicate your needs with more confidence. You protect your energy and your peace. That's why this important work is so important. That's why, honestly, there's only one of me and so many of you, and I wanted everyone to be able to experience this, which is why I wanted to open up a group offer as well. So, time management is great, but what you really need is energy management because time without capacity still leads to burnout. We all have the same amount of time in the day, but we all have different levels of capacity and different energy levels and energy styles. So when you understand your energy style, you can finally stop overcommitting. You can honor your recovery needs because you understand your capacity. You can schedule based on your natural rhythms, and you can say yes and no with more clarity. So this is why we start with this work in the collective, because if you don't know how you're wired, you'll keep creating plans that work for someone else, but not for you. And again, this isn't about avoiding hard things. It's about building a life that plays to your strengths, for you to operate from strengths versus stress, for you to operate from abundance versus lack, and to operate from a place that fits your energy and that honors who you actually are. So here's the question that I want you to ask yourself. How much of your life right now is aligned with your strengths, your energy, and by your design? And what would change if you finally gave yourself permission to do life and business your way, that honored your strengths, that honored your priorities, that allowed you to show up in confident energy versus chaotic or proving energy? That's exactly what we're going to do inside Illuminate You Collective. And it starts here with your personality blueprint. This is the step one. This is the core concept number one in Illuminate You Collective because it lays the foundation for everything else. You cannot build a lasting success on top of someone else's blueprint. You have to start with yours. And friend, I promise that you're going to be amazed by what you learn about yourself when you see it in writing. I can't tell you the number of clients that just feel a sense of relief, like I'm not crazy, or it makes so much sense to me now why I do the things that I do and how I do the things, how I do them. So if this is resonating and you're thinking, that's what I need that kind of clarity. I need that kind of permission and that understanding of me, then I would love for you to join us inside Illuminate You Collective. And you can get all of the details and save your spot. I am keeping it a smaller group. So you can go to martinewilliams.com/the collective, martinewilliams.com/the collective. We'll have the link in the show notes for you. But this is your next step. If this resonated with you, this is your opportunity. This is your time to move. So in the next episode, I'm going to dive into core concept number 2, which is all about emotional resilience and belief work, because clarity is just the beginning. It is the big foundation. And from here, we've got to shift some of the stories maybe you've been believing and the habits that you're living in. But for today, I want you to remember you are your greatest asset. And everything gets more simple, more fun, and more enjoyable and more successful when you start with you. So I will see you on the next episode, and I am believing in you always. Well, that's a wrap, friends. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I really hope it met you right where you are and gave you some encouragement for your day. Could you do me the biggest favor and leave me a rating and review? Seriously, it's the best way for you to support the show. And while you're there, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Thanks again. And until next time, I am believing in you always.